Okay, Andy. So, good morning, everyone. So, how many of you executed the program? Raise your hands. How many of you got the error? Okay. So, while you are executing your program from your IDE Eclipse, you have to keep your Tomcat server off. That you have to cross check once. Who are getting errors, Andy? Just you show me today or tomorrow once. First, you try by yourself and then you try it. Now, can I go forward for today's class? Today's class, let me explain that program, some flow and some objects in the background and the life cycle of servlet program. I'll explain theoretically. I'll go with the second program also today, right? Okay. So, any problem is coming? Above lab programmers are there, not there? Not available. Somebody not came, they said. Right. Yesterday's knowledge is servlet API. So that is incomplete actually, right? Servlet API means one package. Java x.servlet is the package. We are calling it as a servlet API. This servlet API having one root. How much I must decrease it? First I'll show, then I'll increase and come. Okay, right. Right. Java x.servlet package is known as a servlet API, which provide classes and interfaces used in constructing servlet programs. Among these classes and interfaces available in Java x.servlet, we have to take one, only one interface I brought yesterday outside. That interface is Java x.servlet.servlet. Here, somebody asked one question to me. Right. So this is extension Java library. We call it as what now? Extension Java library. So Java library extension, Java X means small extension Java library actually. And this is package. This is package. What is this now? Interface or class? Interface. Interface. So this is the information available here because both same names will be there. Don't be confused. Package name, interface name, both names. Package name starting letter lowercase, Interface starting letter uppercase. That is a naming convention available to you already. Okay, right. This servlet interface is providing 5 important methods. Somebody asked yesterday. See there. Again, one more query came for me. Java version. I'm using 16 environment. I'm using. Observe this, right? Java P, Java X dot servlet dot servlet. Servlet. It could not show. If anybody tried, it will not come to you. Java 17 we are using, Java 16 we are using for you. View flexibility will not be there for you. So how to see, I will show it. For now, you don't see that. You cannot open it. JDBC, okay, you open. Servlet will not come. So I also what I done now, see there. In my system, I kept 8 product. Can you see JDK 8? In this JDK 8 now, I had JRE. Inside this JRE, I had LIB here. Inside this LIB, I had EXT. Inside this EXT, I copied servlet API, I copied here. Means through Java 8, I'm showing the reflection. Yesterday, I shown the reflections through Java 8. I am changing the path of my command prompt to 8. I am changing. This is 8. I changed my environment to 8, not temporary command prompt. I change it to 8. In this 8, I can see servlet. Where is this? Java version. Java P, Java X dot servlet dot servlet. So through Java 8, I'm showing the reflection to you. How to see in 16 and 17, you have to wait it, right? I'll give some process to you. Okay, right? Through 8, more flexibility will be there. 8 and 11 will be more flexible. Okay, right? Now, so this servlet program is implemented to one user-defined class. This user-defined class must construct body for all the abstract methods. It's a theoretical information available with you, right? Through this, we written a program, servlet application 1. And we written one program. So where it is implements from servlet, I am constructing the body for all. It's a theoretical information available. Now today's class is execution flow of above application. Understood this point now? Execution flow of above application. So where you are loading, what is happening, I want to know, sir. Right? Okay, see there. Now star mark IMP. Execution flows you drawn in your core Java for program you drawn. Today also you are drawing the execution flow for program only, but it is running under server. So this flow is important. star mark IMP, execution flow of above application. Execution flow of above application. Now, what is the execution URL means? This is the execution URL generally. From here only the execution happens. This only. So this one you are writing, right click on the application, you are run as a run on means you are loading that only up to servlet API 1 you are loading, right? Okay, I am copying like this. Sir, whenever we want to draw the flow now, this is the flow. The flow. Now, HTTP means connection protocol. It says that I want to connect it. HTTP is saying that I want to connect it. You want to connect to whom now? I want to connect it to one server running on port number 8082, available in the same computer. That's the meaning. Actually, up to here, that's the meaning. So HTTP protocol, I only will give the notes on that HTTP protocol. Header, I'll give it. The notes, I'll give it to you. The document is available with me. We send the document to you. We'll explain 1 or 2 points. Okay, right. HTTP protocol says that I want to connect to the Tomcat server running on port number 8082, available in the same computer. Up to here it runs. Understood now? Up to here, after running it, it finds one Tomcat server. Why means you attach a Tomcat server, information is there already. So now the Tomcat server is on. Imagine the Tomcat server is on. The Tomcat server is on. One red lines are coming, no, right? The Tomcat server is on. Tomcat server is nothing but a web container. Tomcat server is nothing but a web container. Among the Tomcat server, execution environment is a web container. So we are imagining one web container here. So we are imagining one web container. Web container. Nothing but your server. You can say Tomcat server or execution environment. You can say web container. You can say. Got it right? Now our application is deployed. Once the Tomcat server awning has been completed, our application name is there, no, servlet app 1. That is application. That application is deployed. That application is deployed. When this application is deployed, deployed means loaded. When this application is deployed into web container, this web container will create one object automatically. Remember this statement, what I'm speaking. When the web application is deployed into web container, you can say Tomcat server, no problem. Whenever the web application deployed into server or web container, one object is created automatically. The object is nothing but servlet context object. The object name is servlet, servlet context. One object is created, 0x111. Why I'm writing the address means indicating there is one object available. Right? So automatically coming, and we are not creating, automatically one object is created. The object will hold server information. The object will hold server information. Server information means the web application deployed into one server. Whenever it is deployed into one server, one object created. The object is recorded with one information. The application loaded into Tomcat. The server name is loaded. Understood this point? And the server information is recorded. Understood this point, everyone, right? Once the server information has been recorded here, now the application, when you're running application, it shows one error, 404 it shows. Means it stops there. Application deployed, we are ready. Now, from that application, I want one servlet program. So how to identify the servlet program means you must identify the servlet program with the first. You're writing no slash first. So in that web application, anyway, web application came in loaded into server. Whenever the web application loaded into server, the first object created known as a servlet context. The servlet context object loaded with the server information. Now, in that web application, which servlet program should be executed? Today, one servlet program is there. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, more servlet programs will be there. I must call which servlet program? I am saying that call the servlet program which is running on URL pattern first. So, using that first, now that servlet program will be taken and loaded. Understood this point or not now? From that web application, the servlet program will come out. What is the first servlet program coming on to here now? First servlet, FIRST SERVLET. The first servlet program coming here, which is mapped with URL pattern first. The servlet program is identified with the servlet URL pattern known as first. Here dot methods are there, means class is loaded. So here methods are available or not now? So imagine it, the methods are available. Methods are available. Now we draw the arrow like this. Using this first here, the mapping occurred. First the web application loaded, followed by one first is there. Using that first now, one servlet program identified. Now the servlet program loaded means class loaded. Now the class is having 5 methods. One is init method, one is service method, one is destroy method, one is get servlet config, one is get servlet information. All of you understood this point now, right? Now, these methods are static methods or non-static methods? These all 5 methods are static methods or non-static methods? Non-static methods. Non-static method will get the memory within the class or within the object? Within the object. Understood this point or not now? Now what happened? Sir, object should be created. No, sir. When the object is created, only the methods will get the memories. Sir, where we are creating object means when the servlet program loaded onto web container based on URL pattern, automatically object is created. That is a headache with the servlet. It only will create all the objects. It never give a choice to you. That only web container. So when the servlet program loaded, automatically object is created. So here automatically object is created. I am drawing one diagram here. Automatically object is created. I'm extending this for diagram purpose. Automatically object is created. Because 5 methods should come now, I'm drawing like this. automatically object is created. Just I'm putting one arrow like this, indicating the object is for first servlet. This is class, that is object. Imagine it. Okay, right. So here one object is coming. Object means I'm writing one number down, educating one object. So who created object? Web container created that object automatically, right? While object creation, the knowledge from core, non-static methods will get the memories. So here, the methods what you written, they'll get the memories. init method, service method, destroy method, get servlet config method, get servlet information method. The methods got the memories. Understood or not now? Got the memories. Now here, init method, I am commenting. Here, service method. Request and response. Here, destroy method. Here, get servlet config. Get servlet information. Everybody clear? Right. After this, object creation ended. Right? Okay. Now the web container will say that I will create one more object automatically for you. It creates one object automatically there. So that object is created automatically. Servlet config. servlet servlet config. The servlet config object is created here. 0x222. Actually, this is 0x333. So first which object will come means config object will come first. Remember this statement? When that servlet program loaded onto web container, automatically one object created, that is servlet config. This object will hold servlet name. So which servlet came and loaded onto web container, that name I load it. So the servlet name is first servlet. After the servlet config object creation, now your servlet program is instantiated. Object creation ended. All of you understood this point, right? Now, from that object, 5 methods are sitting now from that object. Now, automatically 3 methods will come for execution, not only life cycle methods. Among that, 3 methods will come out for execution. Which method will come out for execution now? init. Yes or no? Yesterday's output that only. So automatically 3 life cycle methods will come. First init will come for execution. When the init method came for execution, I kept one message. System.out.println means put one message in the console. The answer is coming. That's called initialization process. Once the init method execution has been completed, it will not be destroyed anyway. It came for execution, execution completed. Okay, right? Imagine it. After init method execution completed, now service method execution starts. When the service method execution started, service method needs 2 parameters. Their 2 parameters are available or not now here. So service method is saying that I want 2 parameters. One is servlet request, one is servlet response. Now I want to pass this servlet request and servlet response as parameters. Now servlet request, servlet response are non-primitive data types, nothing but they are interfaces actually. I'll write the notes. Now what happened means, while service method execution, service method needs two parameters. One is servlet request object, one is servlet response object. Because of this reason, your web container will create two objects again. Two objects created automatically. One is servlet request object created. It only create one servlet request object. It only create one object known as a servlet response. It only will create one object known as servlet response. SERVLET, servlet response. 0x555. So it created two more objects automatically. See what you observed here. So all objects web container only creating, sir. So all two objects are created. These two objects are passed as parameters. These two objects are passed as parameters. So here 0x444 passed as parameter, 0x555. Non-primitive data type variables will hold value address. I given a notes in your JDBC also, no? Right? Non-primitive data type variables will hold address locations. The two objects are created. Now, what this servlet request will do now? Sir, this servlet request object will hold some input data. Some input data means if you submitted any data from HTML form, the data will be available in the request object. That's the concept. Whatever the HTML form data you are entering, that's called request data. User requested some data. The data will come and wait in the request object. In the first program, HTML form not there, no? So it is empty. Got this point now? Whenever you want to send something outside, we are using this as out response. We are sending this as out response. Service means what? Taking the request, giving the response. So service method has two parameters. One is request, one is response. Now the service method execution started now. Now the service method execution started. In service method, what available now? Sir, in service method, I kept one message. System.out.println request handling process. System.out.println means console output will come. After this, I written print writer PW is equal to res.getWriter. I written one statement here now. res.getWriter. Sir, what is happening now? Here, print writer object is created. So print writer is one class actually. See there from IO. Java P java.io.print writer. Print writer is one class. For this class, one object is created by using one method known as getWriter. It's a concept. So I'm drawing directly here. So this print writer PW is equal to res.getWriter means here res.getWriter will create one object. This object is for print writer. This object is not automatic. We are only creating that print writer. We are only creating that object. So that object reference is 0x666. But the object will have one link here. Internally, this object is linked to here. Linked to the response. Sir, why you drawn pipe now? Because this is IO class. IO means a stream. IO means a stream flow. So like pipe. So the print writer class object linked to response object. So finally, this print writer PW is equal to 0x666. That PW is holding the address location. That address available in the PW. That's a concept. Now, how many objects created now? Context object, config object, request object, response object created automatically. We created print writer. Now, once you created print writer, here one method is there. Set content type, one method. res dot set content type. Sir, what is this method? Set content type means specify the type of output. Specify the type of output means what kind of output you are sending, you must say it first only. So res means response. I am setting this response. I am setting this response for text or HTML. The meaning, you can send text data or you can send HTML data. I am setting this response as text or HTML. So through that response, I can send text data. I can send HTML data. That's called setting the response. After setting the response, now I am putting message pw dot println. I kept a message. I kept a message or not now. So pw dot println means this print method will display the message to this object. And through this opening, the control will go to the output. That only concept. The response is coming to web browser now. pw dot println. That's the point. All of you got the response or not now? Now, once init method execution completed, in that execution area, init method frame will be destroyed. Control will come to service method. Service method execution started. Internally, 3 objects are created. One is request object, response object, print writer object. Once the service method execution completed, the 3 objects will be destroyed because they become synonymous. The objects are created part of service method. Now, once the service method execution completed, control will come to destroy. That's a concept. Understood this point now? So whatever the lines available in the destroy, that is executed. Yesterday, you are not seeing the output of destroy because your Eclipse is not showing that a destruction, but it is terminating internally. That's the point. These 3 methods are life cycle methods. What about remaining 2 methods? If you want to call methods, you can call it. From service method, you can call it. From init method, you can call the remaining methods, but we never call them. All of you understood this now? Right. So here, how many objects are available in the background now? Sir, servlet context, servlet config, servlet request, servlet response created automatically by the web container. Print writer object we created using get writer method. All of you understood this? Right. Can I write the notes on each object now? Right. Each one is interview. So daily you must look it. Why servlet program student cannot understand means he cannot imagine it these many objects. He'll be looking the program, he'll be writing the program. Don't see the program from today. See the program background, objects are there. Don't program, nothing is there. In the program background, what is happening, then only you can understand. Because servlet programming is very hard in the student point of view. The reason students by heart the programs, no? They look the program, they never see the background, they never see the flows. So when you see the flow, when you see the background, then only you can learn servlet. So in the servlet, these objects are created automatically. Whether these objects are available or not, I'm going to prove it. Context available or not, config available or not, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove that objects are available in the background, right? For now, after this diagram I'll paste there. From that diagram, we observed servlet context. Make it servlet, servlet context. Make a siding, servlet context. Servlet context. Each one is one interview question only. Sir, what is this servlet context? Whether class or interface, I want to know, sir. Look here. I am opening from the library. Java P, Java X dot, servlet dot, servlet context. It is an interface. Servlet context is an interface. Can you see here? So servlet context is an interface from Java X dot servlet package. Make a statement. servlet. Servlet context is an interface from Java X dot servlet package and which is instantiated automatically, which is instantiated automatically, which is instantiated automatically when the web application, when the web application is deployed into server, which is instantiated automatically. Here automatically means as a code writer, we are not creating objects. Moreover, interface do not have direct object, you know already. So why I am writing interface instantiated? The reason implementation object is coming. That object is implemented object. Servlet context object means servlet context implemented object. In JDBC also connection object. Connection object means connection do not have object because connection is an interface. So connection implemented object, statement implemented object, prepared statement implemented object. Here also servlet context implemented object. It is an interface, but we write servlet context object, we write it, nothing but implemented object. So servlet context is an interface from Java X dot servlet package and which is instantiated automatically when the web application is deployed into server. Got it right? This servlet context object is loaded with server information. The servlet context object is loaded with server information. Loaded with server information. So there I am giving a paragraph today for reading purpose from the above diagram. After that, how to access that object, how to initialize parameter to that object, That is second stage. For now, one object created automatically. That object is going to hold your server information for today's. Now, servlet, servlet, servlet config, servlet config, servlet config. Same. servlet, servlet config is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically. Servlet config is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when the servlet program loaded onto web container. Loaded onto web container. You can say loaded onto server also. Deployed also, meaning loaded only. You can say loaded. So servlet config is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically when servlet program loaded onto web container. So the servlet config. Now the servlet config object is loaded with or recorded with servlet name. Make it this. The servlet config object is recorded with servlet name. It is recorded with servlet name. Recorded with servlet name. Now, here in the diagram, servlet request also there, no? Right. servlet, servlet request. Servlet request. servlet, servlet request is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically while service method execution. Instantiated automatically while service method execution. When the service method execution started, then the request object will come. If service method execution not started, request object will not come. So servlet request is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is instantiated automatically while service method execution. This servlet request object is loaded with the data, submitted from HTML forms. The servlet request object is loaded with the data submitted from HTML forms. Whatever the data you are submitting from HTML form, the data will be loaded into this servlet request object. Loaded or recorded, if you can say. Any one word, no problem. All are similar words. Recorded with the data submitted from HTML forms. Now, servlet servlet response. Servlet response. Servlet response also interface only. Servlet servlet response is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is also instantiated automatically while service method execution. Servlet response is also an interface from Java X dot servlet package, and which is also instantiated automatically while service method execution. This servlet response object is recorded with the data which is sent as recorded with the data which is sending as response, which is to be sent. You can write which is to be sent as, what you are going to send it, sent as response. What you are going to send as a response, we are going to keep in that object. That's the meaning actually. All of you can remember these 4 objects. Who created these 4 objects now? Web container created automatically. Even your servlet program object also web container only created. So all objects are automatically created in the servlet web container. That's the meaning actually. Then what about print writer? You written one method known as get writer method. You had one method known as get writer. Sir, what is this get writer? Make it FAQ, that is always popular FAQ. Define get writer method. Define get writer method. Get writer method. Get writer method is from servlet servlet response. Get writer method is from servlet response. Get writer method is from servlet response, and which is used to create object for java.io.print writer. This class is IO package class, that is. That point to be remembered for interview. Among the servlet components, one IO component is sitting, that is print writer. So get writer method is from servlet response actually, and which is used to create the object for java.io.printWriter class. It is a class, not interface. It is a class, not interface. This printWriter object is internally, this printWriter object internally linked to response object to send the output. So internal some link is available. So whenever you put the data in the printWriter, the data will go to response automatically. Make it. This printWriter object internally linked to servlet response object. Servlet response object to send the output, if not to send the response. Now, when the method comes, method signature will come. We write method signature. Method signature. Method signature. See there. I'll open response. I'll open response. Servlet response. Can you see get writer here? Get writer return type is what now? Print writer. Java.io.printWriter. Make it public abstract java.io.printWriter get writer throws java.io.io exception. Java.io.io exception. That method is static method and non-static method. Static or non-static? Non-static. Non-static you must access with class name or object name. Object name. So get writer belongs to which interface now? Servlet response. What is the object name of servlet response now? RES dot get writer. Now that method is with parameter, without parameter, without parameter from your library. Okay, right. Now the method is return type or non-return type? Return type, because void is not there, no? Right. What is the return type of this method now? Print writer. So print writer object is created. All of you understood how the syntax came? Right. Completed? Right. Now, one more method available in the program now for you. What is one more method now? Set content type. Make it. Define set content type. So read the notes on the daily basis. I'll be saying this on from core Java day 1 onwards, but you will never do, I think. How many of you are doing reading on the same day? Raise your hands. Only 5 students. Very good. Remaining students, some people went away, no? 200 students missed. Daily, I'm highlighting that point. Because career oriented, they should not miss it, but where they gone, we don't know. But anyway, Servlet you read daily. Because Servlet classroom training is the best training for Servlet. For all Servlet, for all trainer not needed. For JDBC trainer not needed. One student can train one more student. You know JDBC, no? You train your friends. You can train it yes or no na? Kuch bhi nahi rehta, 5 steps only, no? Right. Our course title is not that only. 5 steps, everybody can say that. Loading driver, creating connection, preparing statement, that only, no? But Servlet, something is there in the background. Trainer has to reveal it. So for Servlet, trainer support needed. Core Java trainer support needed because 8 features, 9 features. We only said so. If we don't say, you don't know lambda expression actually. We trainer standing in the dais, if we don't say, the student will not be updated. So for core Java, trainer is needed. Understood this? And next trainer needed for Servlet because if I don't say these objects are there, you never see that. Yesterday you are running program, no? When the program executed, you felt happy, yes or no? Yes, sir, I'm executed my program, but the program nothing is there. But if you see the program background today, 4 objects are there. That is important information. That is very important for us. So some trainer has to give this information. What is happening in the web container? This is our program I'm seeing, but background, these many objects are there. The objects are going to play a role. All are going to play a role. Context, config. So all are going to play a role. Hope you got information about that objects. Now set content type, make it. Set content type. Method is from Servlet response. Method is from Servlet response. Servlet content, sorry, set content type method is from Servlet response and which specify the type of data, we are sending as a response. As a code writer, which kind of data you are sending, give that information through that method. It's a concept. I may send text data. I may send HTML forms. Means HTML codes, I will send it. That only. Text or HTML. So set content type method is from Servlet response and which specify the type of data we are sending as a response. Method signature. Please. Set, okay, right. Set content type. Here also. Set content type, that is. Now method signature here. See there. Can you see set content type here? Parameter is string now. Make it public. So public abstract void set content type parameter java dot lang dot string. Here void method call with the object res dot set content type. For today you can send text. Yesterday you are sending text only. Welcome to servlet programming. That message is text message. You can write one HTML code as a response. That is HTML. Sir, if I want to send stream data, some other format, text or image, text or MP3. Like this, we change the format. We give that list to you. For now, for 5-6 applications, we keep text or HTML because students should understand the flavor. Once you understood the flavor, we change that to images. Okay, right. For now, text or HTML. Sorry, if I write HTML or text, what happen? Means download file will come. It will not be executed. You must not interchange that. It is a defined format. Got it? Right. See there. Now from this diagram, so these are the objects created. Whatever I said there, I written in the notes to you. When the web application deployed means loaded into server, context object created. When the servlet program loaded, config object created. To load that servlet program, we are using URL pattern. Yes or no? This one. Now write life cycle of servlet program. Make a siding. FAQ. Life cycle of servlet program. Life cycle of servlet, they'll say. So before second program coming only, we have to complete that all work theoretically. Some 20 to 30% one idea should come. In the second program, XML file will come, HTML file will come. XML document also will come. HTML file also will come. Before the two files are entering only, the theoretical part you have to read it and understand it. For that, I'm writing life cycle. Because the program itself is a life cycle. Because where it started, where it ended indirectly. So life cycle of servlet specifies different states of servlet program from starting to ending. Make a statement. Life cycle of servlet specifies different states of servlet program from starting of program to ending of program. From starting of program to ending of program. Life cycle of servlet specifies different states of servlet program from starting of program to ending of program. The following The following are the states of servlet life cycle. 1. Loading process. Instantiation process. Initialization process. Request handling process. Destroying process. The 5 stages available to you. Loading process, instantiation process, initialization process, request handling process, and destroying process. 5 stages. Loading process. Now, if we look into this diagram now, see there. By using this URL pattern, we are finding one servlet program and loading onto web container. I don't know. The process of identifying the servlet program based on URL pattern and loading onto web container for execution is known as loading process. So URL pattern is mandatory. URL pattern not there means you cannot call your servlet program for execution. It is mandatory. So make a statement. The process of identifying the servlet program, the process of identifying the servlet program based on URL pattern, the process of identifying the servlet program based on URL pattern and loading onto web container, for execution. Loading onto web container for execution is known as loading process. Loading process. Right. Now, simply you can say servlet programs are mapped with URL patterns, means identified with URL patterns. Somebody must hold that URL pattern. For mapping purpose, somebody must hold it. So simply URL patterns are holded by annotations at the rate of web servlet used yesterday in the program, that is annotation. At the rate of symbol represents annotation. We take the support of annotation to hold URL pattern. And second program, we are going to use web.xml. We are going to use web.xml to hold URL pattern. Anyone. You can take the support of annotation or you can take the support of web.xml, right? So Spring Boot says that only, no, without XML document, we can trigger it. Spring Boot. Here also servlet program can be executed with XML, without XML. That only concept. Yesterday's program XML not there because you don't know XML now. You know not, don't know now. Sir, HTML not covered, sir. So, but we are writing XML document from tomorrow. One program coming, web.xml is coming. So to educate a student, XML is going to hold some URL patterns we are educating. Because web service name that only XML or web service, the add is there. XML/web service. Right? After that only Spring Boot with microservice. That extensions. So XML is mandatory for you. Sir, who trains XML to me? Web service trainer. Understood this point? Again, XML is coming to you. So to hold that URL pattern, you can take the support of annotation. You can take the support of web.xml. Annotation will be easy. Understood? Because I given annotation first yesterday. At the rate of web servlet. W capital, S capital, double quotes / URL pattern. Very easy to write it. So all the programs we are concentrating on annotation only. On demand, we bring that to web.xml. Make a statement. Note. Servlet programs are mapped for mapped. Servlet programs are mapped based on URL pattern. Here mapped means identified indirectly. Based on URL pattern. Based on URL pattern. Full stop on information. Next point. We use any one of the following. We use any one of the following to hold servlet URL patterns. We use any one of the following to hold servlet URL patterns using annotation. We are using web.xml. Always the file is common file, web.xml. We use annotation or we use web.xml, we use it. Yesterday's program is annotation or web.xml? Annotation. Coming programs, 1 or 2 programs, I'll show web.xml document also, I'm going to show it. So URL pattern, you can keep in the annotation or you can keep in the web.xml. If it is annotation, syntax you know already yesterday. Yes or no? At the rate of web servlet double quotes / first. This is the syntax. So web.xml syntax not entered, you have to wait it. I'll try it. Okay, sir. Now my servlet program is loaded. Once it is loaded, what happened now? Sir, automatically instantiated. You only know? Right. When the servlet program loaded onto web container, it is automatically instantiated, known as instantiation process. Make it. Once servlet program loaded onto web container, once servlet program loaded onto web container, then it is automatically instantiated. Then it is automatically instantiated, known as instantiation process. Instantiation process. Once servlet program loaded onto web container, then it is automatically instantiated, known as instantiation process. Instantiation process means object creation process. That only concept, right? What you observed here now, sir, after object creation, in that object, methods are there. But you have to highlight how many methods now? 3 methods. What are the 3 methods now? init, service, and destroy. Make it note. After instantiation process, we can identify the following life cycle methods. After instantiation process, we can identify the following life cycle methods. One is init method. One is service method. One is destroy method. These 3 life cycle methods are available. Now that methods are executed automatically in the same order, no? Right, okay. Now, make a siding initialization process. Initialization process. Right. Service method will play crucial role because taking the request from the user, providing the response. Before service, some components we have to make ready. Before service, we have to make some components ready. That is known as initialization. Means example, the service method want to use some data retrieved from databases. Then database connection should be done before service. Understood this point now? So initialization process, the process of making the programming components ready for service method is known as initialization process. Once the service method comes, it takes the request from the web browser. Before that only, some components you have to make ready. Such codes you are going to keep in the init. That only concept. Make it. The process of making the programming components, the process of making the programming components ready for service method is known as initialization process. The process of making the programming components ready for service method is known as initialization process. We use init method. To perform initialization process. We use init method to perform initialization process. Whenever you want to do any initializations, we do with init method because init method is executed before service method. It's a concept. Through initialization, especially creating beans, making that beans ready, creating database connection, making that connection readily available. Such things we do with initializations. We are going to show that codes to you. Okay, right. Once the initialization has been completed, then the service method will come. The service method is nothing but request handling. The process of accepting the request from the user. The process of accepting the request from the user and providing the response. Providing the response is known as request handling process. The process of accepting the request from the user and providing the response is known as request handling process. We use service method to perform request handling process. Request handling process. We use service method to perform request handling process. Right. Roughly I'm speaking now. Suppose whenever we want to start a class here, some people will do an initializations. They learn some powers. They keep that screens. They'll check the mics. They on the systems initialization. Once we came inside, service started. Once I go out and again they will come and destroy it. Means what they initialized, they off it. They created database connection means they disconnect it. They created a bean object means they destroy it. That's called destroying. So after service method has been completed, destroy method will come to close the resources or destroy the resources. Make it. The process of closing the resources or destroying. Destroying means nothing but close only indirectly. Here destroy word is there. Now I am writing destroying. The process of closing the resources or destroying the resources after service method. After service method is known as destroying process. Destroying process. We use destroy method to perform destroying process. We use destroy method to perform destroying process. All of you understood this theoretical, right? In yesterday's program, what objects are created in the background, followed by one servlet life cycle point. Okay, right? So these are connected to yesterday's program only, directly or indirectly. The notes. Now we are going for the second program now. That is for tomorrow, complete session tomorrow. Okay, right? Why means now the program pattern changes. Remaining two components will come inside. One is generic servlet, HTTP servlet. Tomorrow they are going to enter it. Right? Take a break. and read that notes and come. No assignment, no program today. Relax it.